We looked at dragons in the last video. Now it's time to look at the other inhabitants coming to the game and what secrets they hold. This list will include playable elementals and the AI creatures either in or coming to the game. As before, more may come, but these are the creatures currently being worked on. Let's do AI creatures first, and then again in order of class. Only the first two are currently in the game, with a class 3 and a class 7 due to be added in the next two big updates. The first creature on the list is the first creature many of us encountered in the game. The thornback crawler is a small insect creature with backwards facing spikes along its spine. These spikes, however, do seem to do little to deter dragons from eating them, and seem more designed to make it hard for dragons to pull them out of their burrows when they run or dig for safety. Their hard shell, however, does protect them from bleed. Their mouths are very tough, but for a few dragons the eggs inside can be worth the effort. They are detritivores, feasting on decaying matter, and some dragons have taken a liking to them not just as food but as companions. The thornback crawler will follow their dragon and listen to their calls in exchange for safety and free meals. The next class 1 creature is the bulbous spine scrab, a round insect creature that tends to hang around in loose groups in forested areas. Their calls seemingly used to either stay in touch or to claim their patch. Their inflated size seems to be not a defensive tactic, but due to their diet of eating decaying wood and plants requiring a large gut area where the fibrous material can be broken down. As such, they are highly important for the health of a forest. When threatened, they are able to defend themselves, raising their sharp claws that is normally used to break down wood and branches. While immune to bleed themselves, they can inflict it to any unwary dragon. The last class 1 will be found in the water. The paddletail is a large catfish-like aquatic, which requires quick reflexes to catch. They can be found in all waters and obviously are immune to burn conditions. Thankfully, these fish breed quickly, as they are pretty much a meal for anything that can catch them in the water. Their sensory whiskers help them find food in even the murky swampy waters, while the top sensors help detect when water moves to help them avoid predation. The red bill is also a fish species, although this is class 2 and requires larger and cleaner bodies of water, so you won't find them in swamps. They are very quick to flee, though the singe-crest wyvern has become adept at hunting them to the point that these fish are its primary diet. Not much is yet known about this elusive fish, but it's sure to be a treat for any dragon to enjoy. The dune weaver is also class 2 and is a heavily armoured desert species that relies on looking like a pile of dried bones to avoid getting eaten. If that doesn't work, it will curl up in an attempt to protect its soft underbody. It's immune to all status effects except for decay, that will eat away at its armour and make it an easier target. Also found in the desert is a class 3 creature, the sand snapper, an ambush predator that will hide in the few oases found in the dunes. It is aggressive and doesn't seem to care how big the threat is, it will try and take a chunk out of it. Due to the limited food, it has multiple sensory organs and bristles to help it remain hidden while also knowing exactly where potential food source is. A relative of the sand snapper, the swamp snapper is also a class 3 creature and found in lakes and swamps. Despite the more plentiful food, it is still just as aggressive as its desert cousin, and many hatchlings and young dragons will fall prey to its jaws simply from wanting a drink of water. Both types of snappers are immune to poison and decay. Moving to class 4, you will find the feral drake. Not much is known about this creature, but it will be the first of the wild and non-playable dragons that will add some extra spice to PvE and DvE servers. Class 5 will see the largest of the insect AI creatures, the cave cutter, a large aggressive creature to be found tunnelling in caves through icy walls and heavily packed snow. It is immune to poison and bleed, but can't swim. The grasslands will soon sport herds of class 7 ironhide grazers. While not aggressive, they are highly defensive, particularly when their young are involved, which are more often the target for dragons due to their smaller size. It will take most dragons working together to take down this creature, and it's immune to stun, slow and burn, but will provide a hefty feast for any clan that can take one down. Back under the water and we will find the class 8 deep dweller, a massive aggressive squid that will be immune to both bleed and poison. At class 10 sits the slayer worms. These massive worm-like creatures can be found in almost all environments in some form or other. The largest are referred to as queens, and truly a sight you want to behold only from far away. The sand slayer, the snow slayer and the sea slayer will spend most of their time hidden underground until they're able to emerge at any creature that passes nearby. While their jaws deal massive amounts of damage, it is in fact their grasping tongues that are the biggest threat, immobilising a dragon to be swallowed whole. It is said that any dragon that can defeat these monstrosities will find themselves marked with their victory. We finished the video covering the elementals. These are playable creatures that are direct adversaries to the dragons and come crashing down from the moon fully grown. The current plan is that you will need to sacrifice one of your elder dragons to gain access to the elementals, and if it dies, you will need to sacrifice another elder, so you will want to be careful. They will grow stronger by eating elder dragons. There are 3 elementals in the works: the magma elemental, the glacier elemental, and the thunder elemental. All 3 will be class 7, and each will have physical and ranged attacks, so don't think you will be able to just snipe them from afar. In PvE servers, elementals won't be able to spawn, but in PvP and DvE, which is Dragon vs Elemental, they will be able to spawn, and will be aggressive. In global and local chat, dragons and elementals won't be able to understand each other, unless you are a Mimicore of course. The elementals and dragons also can't clan up. On top of all that, when an elemental reaches its max strength, it will be able to team up with other elementals to transform. One of each of the 3 elementals will be needed, but together they can form a monstrosity known as a Hydra, with wings included. The central head, the Thunder Elemental, will control the body, with the Fire and the Ice Elementals acting as turrets either side. They will need to keep consuming Dragon Bile in order to avoid the risk of falling apart into standard elementals again. The Tragon Hydra will be a Class 9 threat, and will be immune to the stated conditions Burn, Freeze, Stun, Sleep and Poison. I hope that has all been useful information to you, and I hope you've learned something new. See you all soon!